All right, your loan was sold, your loan was transferred. More specifically, the servicing of your mortgage home loan was transferred to a new servicer. What does it mean? Is Mr. Cooper a real company? These questions and more I'm going to answer in this video. I'm going to walk through the different pieces of mail. You're going to see what you should and shouldn't be doing, things that are important, things that aren't important. I've been through this personally. I've walked hundreds of clients through it, and I'm continuing to get more and more questions as this is a common practice. But if it's the first time it's happened to you, it might catch you off guard. You might not know what's going on. Stay tuned in this video as I break it down. I just try to keep it simple. That's what I do. So if you like straightforward and simple mortgage and real estate talk, why don't you subscribe? I think when I look at my analytics, only like 11% of people that are watching the videos are subscribed. That way, when I put out more videos explaining mortgage and real estate in a simple way, you'll be there to listen to it. So subscribe, like, do all the things that the algo loves. Let's jump right into it. I'm going to use a personal example, and I'm going to use the transfer from United Wholesale Mortgage to Mr. Cooper. Know that in your scenario, it might be your original loan was with a different company and it's going to be transferred to a different company. That doesn't matter. What matters is that you can rest assured nothing's going to change. The terms of your loan won't change. The payment won't change. If you set up auto payments, that's going to transfer right over as well. So they're going to notify you plenty, the company that you're leaving and the company that you're being transferred to. And before I jump into it and show you a personal example, I can tell you that the largest servicer in the country, yes, their name is Mr. Cooper. And they used to be known as NationStar, same company. They just, for branding purposes, thought that the name Mr. Cooper was a little bit more personal. Like, hey, it's just Mr. Cooper. I'm just handling your loan payments. Some people think it's weird. Some people like it. What I can say about them is I wouldn't go to Mr. Cooper to originate a loan and to go get yourself a loan. But as far as servicing goes, they do a great job. They do a great job with an application on your phone. They do a great job with their online portals and setting up automatic payment, all that good stuff. So let's jump into a real example because like I usually do, I like to show you. March of 2024, UWM sends me a letter, notice of servicing transfer. So you're going to get this well in advance of your loan servicing being transferred. And servicing just means they're collecting payments. They're applying those payments to your principal. And most of you who have escrow accounts, the servicer also handles paying your taxes and paying your insurance through the funds in your escrow account. So notice of servicing transfer. I'm not going to read every line, but this is the official notice that the servicing of this particular home loan of mine was going to transfer on April 1st, 2024. So I got it about 3 weeks before the transfer on March 11th. United Wholesale Mortgage has sold the rights to service your mortgage. Again, people sometimes like take offense to this. Like, oh my gosh, they sold my loan. They don't like me. Or what is it about my loan they don't like? Most all mortgage companies, generally all of them, are going to sell servicing. They can't originate mortgages to the tune of, some companies are doing 10 billion a year. Some are doing 20. United Wholesale Mortgage is doing hundreds of billions in loans every single year. They cannot hold the paper, service every single loan that they write. So they sell the servicing to other companies. And it's across the board, whether you get your loan at Wells Fargo, Bank of America, you get it with a mortgage broker, you get it with a direct lender. Almost every single one of them at some point or another is going to sell a portion of the loans they originate. So for this specific one, it's telling me that on April 1st, I'm being transferred, send all payments due on or after April 1st to Mr. Cooper. And honestly, as somebody who pays all the stuff online, who has auto pay set up, like I don't need to write down these addresses. I don't need to do anything about this. Like I said earlier, and it'll say in the letter, if you have auto pay already set up, it's going to automatically transfer that auto pay to the new servicer. If they get a payment, if you sent a check, they're going to transfer that to the new servicer. And the cool part about it, as you know, companies probably learned, sometimes in this transition, stuff gets lost or a client misses a notice. There's going to be a lot of notices, so you shouldn't miss it. But they give you this 60-day period following the transfer date. So April 1st transfer date, where they cannot charge you late fees. And it says it here under federal law, like they can't charge you a late fee. You don't want to get late because you're still going to owe the payment eventually, but don't get stressed out if you're like, oh my gosh, payment was transferred on April 1st. I didn't really figure it out until April 9th. They never pulled my auto payment from the old place. What am I going to do? Because something on page 2, which I, again, experienced personally, sometimes it's going to be delayed, meaning I had auto pay set up. I can't remember if it was the 1st or the 2nd of every month. When it went to the new servicer, there was no auto pull from my bank account. I thought I was $2,000 richer that month. And it's because they weren't going to be pulling this new payment until the 2nd week of April. And so as they got everything in their system transferred over and got it all dialed in, got the escrow account transferred or whatnot, that payment wasn't made until April 12th or so. And so they even say it here. If your monthly payment is automatically deducted, it'll continue without interruption. There may be a delay in drafting the first payment, but this delay will not negatively impact the status of your loan. It got paid on the 12th, no negative impact. And after that first time payment, it's going to go back to whatever date you have it set on auto pay. Mr. Cooper, like a lot of these places, make it so easy. You log into their online portal, you set up the auto pay, or you maybe don't like auto pay. You want to log in every month and make that payment. Maybe you decide, do I want to send $88 extra towards principal, or do I want to pay it on the 5th this month instead of the 1st? Maybe next month I'll pay it on the 11th. Know that with mortgages, there's no late payment assessed until after the 15th. And so you can pay it up to the 15th. No late payment will be assessed on that. It's not late to the credit bureaus until it's 30 days late. Again, not a practice I recommend where you're stretching it out every single month, but just for your own peace of mind, you've got that. One more piece of advice that they're going to give you here. And again, if people open up their mail and they're like, this is from somebody who services my largest debt in my life, just read it. That and you know, I'm as guilty as anybody else, but once you read it, you're like, okay, every question I had, I think they answered. And then I'll show you 3 or 4 follow-up pieces of mail that not only did I get in the online portal for my online stuff that I can view on my mortgage, but I also got it in physical mailbox. They're explaining all the questions that we would have, right? One of those questions is, I made 3 payments to UWM. January, February, March. Now I'm going to make April through December to Mr. Cooper. When I get that IRS form that shows how much interest I paid, the form I have to give to my CPA, how's that going to work? You're going to get 2 of them. You're going to get one from UWM showing you paid $2,100 in interest to us because you paid 3 months, whatever that number is, right? And then for the other 9 months, I might pay $5,600 in interest to Mr. Cooper. You just bring both of those 1098s to your CPA and let them work their magic. So that will be split. Okay, now here's the next piece of mail I'm going to show you. This came on the 1st. It shows my old loan number with the old servicer, my new loan number with the new servicer. I've got the same monthly payment. This is something that everybody hopefully gets, like nothing's going to change. Your interest rate, still 2.874. You can't ever take that from me. I don't know if this rental property will ever get sold because that rate is just too sweet. So payment due date's the 1st of the month. That's true for, all mortgages. Again, like I said, you can pay it up until the 15th. And so by now you've probably heard your mortgage has been transferred from UWM to us as one of the nation's largest mortgage servicers. Again, servicer. Origination, call Matt the mortgage guy. Servicing, you're in good hands with Mr. Cooper. Thrilled to welcome you. We truly believe you are in for upgrade experience in every way. They do servicing right. I'll give them that. They do really, really good. Important things to know. And I'm going to share facts with you later. The terms of your loan, interest rate, length of loans, exactly the same. If you already made this month's payment, don't worry. it automatically gets transferred to them. If you haven't made your payment yet, there's instructions below. And here's like a little thing that you could rip off and pay. Again, no late payments within 60 days of transfer. So if you didn't figure this out until April 12th and you're freaked out, like, oh my gosh, I'm going to send it, I don't know if it's going to get there by the 15th, it might be late. No late payments for the first 60 days. No late fees, I should say. Auto pay and escrow will automatically be transferred to us. And I'll show you in the paperwork where whatever money's sitting in your escrow account gets transferred to the new servicer. Okay, that's a bunch of stuff from them. Important account information. Already went over this. Automatic drafts get transferred automatically. Escrow account, it tells me my exact amount. I had $1,000 sitting in this escrow account from UWM, and that got transferred. Hopefully you guys can read this. This writing is kind of small, but $1,000 gets transferred to the new one. I'll show you the statement even. And then my account status, I'm glad it's in good standing, because making this video with a mortgage in bad standing would be a bad look on your boy. Currently due for 401. It's in good standing. I owe him about 351 dimes. And that's that. Here's something from the 11th, notice of servicing transfer. Just another reminder. Here's the current servicer. Here's the new servicer. Whenever somebody tells me something changes on their mortgage with the servicing, or even like sometimes in the insurance space, people will call me freaked out. Like, rest assured, they've communicated with you. One, it's the law. And two, most companies have done it a time or two, so they know. There's going to be, multiple things sent to your house, physical mail. There's going to be multiple messages on an online portal if you have any online account set up. So they're going to let you know. Reiterating the first 60 days, no late fees or negative credit reporting. Another one of these, if I wanted to send them my payment in the mail, attach here and mail it off, pay my payment that way. Another one a few days later, just, Jay Bray, just saying, welcome to the family. 4 million homeowners are being serviced by Mr. Cooper. So like I said, they know what they're doing. They've got a snazzy looking online portal and they do it relatively well. Some of my details, how much is going to interest, how much to principal, and taxes and insurance, all this stuff is exactly the same as it was with UWM. I'll go through these quickly. Frequently asked questions. Terms of my loan changed? No. How do I make my monthly payment? Just like you did with the old place. You can auto pay it. You can do on-demand payments. You can call them. You can mail your payment. So nothing changes there. I do automatic bill pay through my bank. If you do it like that, where you are initiating it on the bank side, it's not auto pay where they're pulling. Yes, you need to change your bill pay through your bank to now send it to Mr. Cooper, your loan number, all that good stuff. If I made my payment to my prior servicer, they forward it. When will I receive my first billing statement? That usually comes, this says within 3 weeks. I think I got mine on, was it the 19th? You'll see it here soon. Tax and insurance being paid by the old one. Yep. All that's getting transferred. Will I receive an escrow analysis statement? That escrow analysis, which I've got other videos on escrow and how those accounts work, that escrow analysis happens once a year, like most servicers do. So whenever it's scheduled to do that, May, June, they'll do it then. Do I need to contact my homeowner's insurance company? Yes. You let them know, which this should already be something that gets sent from the mortgage companies that are involved, right? UWM transferring in Mr. Cooper. But just to be safe, you send them that, make sure they got the new mortgagee clause, because this is who's going to be sending them payment. So when the homeowner's insurance company is looking for their annual premium that's due on May 24th, they want to be asking the right people. If they ask UWM is like, I don't service that loan anymore. I don't know who that Matt Gouget guy is. So make sure that they've got this new mortgagee clause. How can I change my personal contact info? Log in, change it there. How can I obtain the total amount required to pay off my loan? Pay off like always. You can mail it in, or like most people do nowadays, it's just right there in the portal. I went in there, mrcooper.com, set up my login, went in there, saw my loan within a few weeks of it being transferred over. All the information, pretty standard and straightforward. Modification, trial plan. This stuff is really specific. Active duty being called in, I have life insurance or other optional products. These are all very specific, and contact the new servicer if you've got any type of stuff like that going on. Okay, so trying to wrap this video up. Didn't mean for it to be this long. Finally, new statement. It's fully transferred over. 4/19. I've got this. My payment was made to them on, I think, the 12th. They finally got everything dialed in, and that payment was sent. And this is what their statements look like. It's got some nice colors. I even did this in color just so you could see, and breaks down like most all mortgage servicers. You sent in a payment for $21.33. How much of that went to principal, how much went to escrow, and how much went to interest. It shows here, just in case I was one of those people like, oh my gosh, what are they going to, what are they doing with my money? That $1,073 that UWM had in the escrow account, they sent it over on April 1st. I made a payment, principal, interest, and $593 was added to escrow. So the $1,073 that's sent over, $593 from my April payment, and then I got a little $15 payment interest on my escrow. And so now my new escrow balance, which is on most mortgage statements, $1,681. If you need to know about escrows, I got a phenomenal video on escrows with 61,000 views. How do escrow accounts work, I think is the name of it, right? And so if you don't know about escrows, check out that video. A bunch of stuff in here, which I don't think we need to really go over in detail. Just know that like you're going to get multiple pieces of mail, multiple like notices in your inbox on your online portal, giving you all the information that you need about the transfer. You can always pick up the phone and ask them, but it's super common to have the servicing of your loan transferred. Don't be afraid of it. Don't think that, they didn't like you and that's why they transfer your servicing. They do it to millions of people every single year. Hopefully that was helpful. Didn't mean for it to be that long. If you're here this long, thank you immensely for checking this video out. If you want more like it, subscribe to the channel, like it, share it with your friends. Thanks for watching. Till next time, we gonna see.